It's your boy. Yeah, I gotta find him a better intro than that. But basically, here I am making a video for my channel, and we're gonna react. Yeah, we're gonna react to some Joe Rogan conspiracy theories that might be crazy. I don't know. It's Joe Rogan. People there smoke on the devil's lettuce. The devil. So we'll see what happens, really. Yeah. Let's get to the video. I'm not good with intros.
Okay. Let's go.
Mr. Joe Rogan, conspiracy theories. Shout out to the JRE Daily. That's where we're getting this footage from. Okay, real quick. Moon landing denying itself is probably pretty crazy. But at the same time, let's hear how. Let's see what the judgments here are.
That's, you know, the work that's been done about how absolutely I don't know enough about astrophysics, about space travel, about the science. That's, you know, the work that's been done about how to get a rocket to the moon and back. Definitely don't know enough.
I mean, yeah, you're Joe Rogan. It's not your specialty, for sure.
And I've looked at a lot of very compelling documentaries.
He's out here choking people and smoking bud, not building rockets.
That explain why they think it was
about.
hoaxed. And they'll show you some footage, and you can look at some of the footage, and it looks fake as fuck. There's some footage that, to me, looks really doctored. There's
to this day?
Yeah, to this day. There's some when you ever seen ones where it looks like they're on wires, like the astronauts are on wires?
I have.
There's some where there's a video where they look like they're on a trampoline. They're bouncing around on trampolines. Mm-hmm. The physics are different in different videos. This is where it gets weird. Like, the physics are different from the Apollo 11 moon landing. We see them waddle around on the surface of the moon. They're moving at like half speed.
I have seen the videos he's talking about. Maybe I'll put a clip on them, or maybe I'll talk about the videos itself. I'll make a bigger video about the moon landing. But I have seen that stuff, and I will say it does look ridiculous. I'll admit that when you point out certain things about the physics in space and the fact that each video has different physics on it from each visitation, it looks pretty weird. I'm not saying that the moon landing is fake, but I do agree that even back then, we had, in the 50s, we had the capability of faking black and white footage. It doesn't seem impossible to do, especially knowing that the military has more advanced technology than the public knows, right? That's like a thing. So I wouldn't surprise me if they had like some really early version of video editing.
And then you see them in other ones, like the one where they bounce around the air. You're like, wow, they're moving different. They're in the same thing, but it looks different. The first one was very grainy. They showed it on a projection screen. There's a couple different possibilities. One possibility is it just looks weird because it's on the moon, and your brain is trying to interpret it, and your brain's going, well, that's fake, because you don't really understand what 1/6 Earth's gravity really does to a body. That's one possibility. Another possibility, which has been shown to be true, is that some of the stuff that they passed off as being legitimate photographs of space travel was actually test runs where they blacked out the background and pretended that they were in space.
Okay, you see, I did not know that, so I'm going to have to do some form of research if that's true, because if that's true, that's kind of interesting. That definitely lends credibility to what he's saying.
There's one really clear example of this. It's Michael Collins. Michael Collins was the guy who was aboard Apollo 11. In Gemini 15, there's a photo of him in the middle of a what is it when they walk around outside the spacewalk? It's called spacewalk. Why does that seem like a bad word? It's like spacewalk. Like, it doesn't seem like that's the official title. Well, it's in the middle of a spacewalk.
It's probably something more.
Yeah,
a little more syllables.
Yeah, something slicker. Anyway, so he's doing the spacewalk, and he's got this harness on. He's holding on to this like thing, and it was apparently just an image that had already been published of him in a training exercise.
Oh, Raid Shadow Legends.
and they blacked out the background and flipped the picture upside down.
Oh.
It's the same exact photo.
Okay, they're showing an actual footage. Obviously, you'll have the clip and I'll show it, but that's pretty wild. If that's true, which I guess it is, that's pretty wild that they try to sell that off as actual pictures. That makes me basically question everything, like how much, a lot of it is fake.
Same exact photo.
Obviously, we've
People
sent people
lined
into,
it up and switched it over. It's the
obviously we've sent people into space recently, but to the moon or whatever, and the fact that they could have hacked the whole thing just to have the whole Cold War with Russia, that I could believe that.
same photo. It's just been edited. So the one on the left was them practicing how to use these. I don't guess that the harness is some sort of a thing that he's hanging onto. I guess it moves him around a little bit. They were trying to practice it on the left, and on the right, they just passed it off. But those are publicity photos, right?
Right.
So you got to go, well, okay, well, who approves of publicity photos? It could easily be just some idiot who works in
Hashtag
the
subscribe.
publicity department who did marketing, who didn't think they had enough photos from the moon that were good of spacewalks. It's probably insanely difficult to take a spacewalk photo. So, does that mean that they faked the moon landing? No, but it means that people fake things. So you got to throw,
Okay.
you got to be really objective. And look,
I can agree with that. Not necessarily that they faked the moon landing, but yeah, people fake things. Maybe they faked the first photos of space and then maybe sent the space people after. Look at me, all intelligent space people. Neil Armstrong.
okay, so people say fake things. They definitely filmed a lot of the training exercises that they did of the moon landing. They filmed a lot of shit. They definitely did. If that has already been proven, that they took this fake photograph and they tried to pass it off as a real spacewalk, it's entirely possible that some of the stuff that they filmed, they made out to look like they were on the moon when they were not. But does that mean they didn't go to the moon? No, it doesn't. And so when I was saying it proves that they didn't go to the moon, my critique of myself is that I didn't look at it objectively because I wanted one conclusion to be true. And I wanted that conclusion to be that the moon landing was fake. So I looked at it and I was saying to myself, okay, did I come to this conclusion because there's a lot of evidence that shows it to be fake, or have I seen a lot of evidence that looks fake? And does that mean that they didn't go to the moon? Right. No, it doesn't. There's a bunch of different possibilities. There's a ton of different possibilities. There's also the possibility that whatever photographs they took can get severely damaged in the radiation of space, and that it was really difficult to do. Right.
That's true. That's a good point. The radiation, film radiation damage, or whatever you say that's true. I often question that about so in the atomic bomb videos, right? How there are things that don't make any sense. Is that one, the houses look like miniatures, obviously, but whatever. And two, the cameras filming from inside the house. How did those cameras didn't disintegrate, but everything else disintegrated? And how did they not get any radiation damage on the footage? Think about it. There's no possible way that the cameras are completely intact and that the footage is completely intact, no radiation damage, but yet everything around the camera completely melted. That someone's sussy AF going on in here.
That's possible too, and that they
decided
somehow or another that they were going to pass off these, that they actually did go, and they decided they're going to pass off some of these fake videos. So there's a bunch of possibilities.
Bunch of fake news. So fake news.
The possibility that it looks fake because I'm dumb, and because I don't understand anything about the physics of 1/6 Earth's gravity, and it just looks weird because it's shitty film. It's 1969. That's possibility number one. Number two is they fake some things. Or number three is they didn't really have good footage because, look, you couldn't take film through the airport. Remember that? Yeah. Like people would go through those radar detectors, your film would get jacked, and they weren't responsible.
I didn't have any film, but I know.
People that I have friends that are photographers, and my uncle's a photographer, and he would tell me, you can't send the film. Like if you have you take a roll of film and awesome
so
pictures.
How would they get it through?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they did. But I know that some film has been damaged. Or maybe it's an urban myth. Maybe. Find out if film got damaged by those radar things at the
X-ray,
airport.
X-rays.
X-ray.
Okay. Let's let's go on a small rabbit hole here. Just because I'm curious. Now I'm a curious George. Okay. Let's see. Let me type. Why do people think the moon landing is fake? I'll type moon landing fake evidence. Alright, let's see what we find. It's kind of about to get spooky. 5 reasons why the moon landing was fake. Alright.
Here are 5 reasons why people think the moon landing was fake. If you look closely at this photo taken, you don't see any stars in the background. And if you also look at the footprints left on the moon from Neil Armstrong,
I can't stand this TikTok view. I'm sorry, fam. Your boy
here are 5 reasons why
not doing the TikTok thing. Yeah, why is it so hard to return to the moon?
It is clear from these rarely seen color television pictures that the crew of Apollo 11 high-resolution
check this out.
color video camera with them on their mission. Yet the only pictures broadcast live from the moon's surface were these from a low-definition black and white camera. In fact, the networks complained because in addition to this, they were forced to shoot the images second generation off of a projection TV of the technology of 30 years ago, and were not even allowed to take a direct feed, which further degraded the quality and clarity of the images. Perhaps this was precisely what NASA and the federal government had in mind. After all, it was a first, regardless of where they were. Better to open up their debut mission with fuzzy pictures and numerous blackouts, rather than show too much revealing.
Maybe it's just the music in this video, but it sells it so hard. It sells it so good and so hard. It is just some soft-spoken lady selling. I'm like, whoa, okay, I believe you.
Detail of a false scene that was yet unproven. And finally, the element that seals their fate. All the footage of Apollo 11 requested from NASA over a 5-year period. One gem was discovered just before the completion of this documentary. An old reel received by mistake. It contains the raw or unedited footage of the crew of Apollo 11, Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin Jr., and Neil Armstrong, staging part of their mission for nearly an hour in living color, with exceptionally clear behind-the-scenes audio of
No way. If that's real, how is this not blown up? No fucking way.
conversations discussing the techniques used to achieve a disingenuous picture depicting the Earth at a distance in order to falsely demonstrate their far journey from it.
Alright, let's see this fake
Slated,
footage.
only to find them too preoccupied with the behind-the-scenes trickery to respond. Moments pass, and the oversight is picked up on by the clandestine third party, who quickly prompts them with talk. Immediately, Neil Armstrong speaks.
Hello, Apollo 11. Houston, Goldstone says that the TV looks great. Over.
I'm like super shocked.
Okay, Roger.
Again, the illusion they are attempting to create is the Earth at a distance to demonstrate their far journey from it and their ability to survive passing through the Van Allen radiation belts. Understand, too, that only about 20 seconds of this raw footage was ever broadcast to the public, and these conversations discussing their deception were believed
Yo.
to be private until now. Here they discuss that these television transmissions were in fact not broadcast live as everyone believed, They were first screened and edited for playback.
I don't think I'm ready for the truth. I'm going to stop the video right here before it gets too long. Since this is the first time I've ever recorded a reaction video, we'll see how it goes. But basically, thank you for hanging out. If you did, please subscribe. I want to keep doing some more of this. If you want to see part 2 where we take a look at every single thing that we can about the moon landing being fake, I will. Just comment in below. I'm just going to be uploading different stuff, my regular videos, shorts, reaction content to whatever. Suggest something in the comments for me to look at. And that's it, basically. I'll see you later, gang. With more weird conspiracies and fake moon landings and fake news. And I don't know. I don't like Hassan Piker. Maybe I'll make a video about that asshole. Bye.